those are my teams of last week, NBA Week 14. We talked about the players. Now let's continue talking about players, and a couple of players we highlighted, BG, one being Jared Allen, one being John Collins. I'm sure we got a few others, but let's do our redraft. Now, I've always seen Bill Simmons. He's always done redrafts, and he'll have like a long 2-hour deal with it. We ain't doing that. I ain't got time for that. What we will do, though, as mentioned, we will do a redraft of the 2017 draft. Why are we choosing that? Because this almost marks the 5-year anniversary of that draft. I thought it was a really interesting draft, especially when you look at some of the names. So we'll go through me, Coach T, BG, and Zay. We'll go through our top 10 players, how we would order it if we had to do that draft all over again. So who would like to begin, fellas?
I can start. I'll go for it.
So let's do this. What's the best way to do this? We got 10. Let's read off 10 through 6, each of us. Yeah, let's read off 10 through 6, kind of meet in between, talk about it if we need to, and then we'll come back around and read off 5 through 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm actually going to read the actual, this is actually how the selections played out. So in 2017, when the draft actually happened, this is what happened. Number 1, Philadelphia, Markelle Fultz. I always say Fultz. Okay, number 2, Lonzo Ball. Number 3, Jason Tatum. Number 4, Josh Jackson. Number 5, De'Aaron Fox. Number 6, Jonathan Isaac. Number 7, Lauri Markkanen, Chicago basketball team. Number 8, Frank Ntilikina, Frankie Smokes. Number 9, Dennis Smith Jr. Number 10, Zach Collins. All right, some other notable players. We have Malik Monk, who went 11. You got Luke Kennard, who went 12. Donovan Mitchell, who went 13th. Bam Adebayo, who went 14th. You have John Collins, who went 19th. I'm sorry. Jared Allen, who went 22nd. OG Anunoby, IU, Indiana. There we go. He went 23rd. And then Kyle Kuzma, he went 27th. And Josh Hart, if you want to count him, he was the last pick of the first round. All right, BZ, shoot, 10 through 6. Let's just name them off.
All right, so number 10, I'm going to go with your guy, Jared Allen. I did give Josh Hart a little thought there, so Josh Hart's kind of my honorable mention, number 11, I guess. But number 10, Jared Allen. Number 9, Dillon Brooks. Number 8, Lauri Markkanen. Number 7, Kyle Kuzma. And number 6, John Collins. So that's my 10 through 6 plus an honorable mention there.
I love it. And for Dillon Brooks, he was actually in the second round, so good find by you. Dillon Brooks was drafted number 45th by the Houston Rockets. I don't know if he was traded on draft night or what, but he was drafted by the Houston Rockets. 45th. Wow. Crazy. Zay, 10 through 6.
So I'm going to go with, at number 10, I'm going to go Jared Allen. At number 9, I'm going to go Kyle Kuzma. At number 8, I'm going to go Justin Jackson. At number 7, I'm going to go... at number 7, I'm going to go Josh Jackson. And at number 6, I'm going to go... I still don't know. It was a tough one.
Who are you considering?
Right. I'm going to go with Dennis Smith Jr. I'm going to just keep him there right now.
Keep him in the spot. Okay. Yeah. I like that. All right. So can I do an honorable mention? Can I do like number 11? I guess it's my show, so I can do that. All right. So number 11 for me will be, because I gotta shout him out, another Flint baby, or another Michigan baby, Flintstone right here. We got where is he? We got Monte Morris out of Iowa State, from the state of Michigan, who was drafted 51st by Denver, and he is a starting point guard essentially for him. So he's number 11 for me. He's honorable mention. Number 10, I'm going with Jared Allen. I think 10. He was 10 for each of us. Dillon Brooks was number 9. Number 8, I'm going John Collins. Number 7, I'm going Kyle Kuzma. And number 6, I am going with, and this was a tough spot for me, this is really tough. 6. I got a couple in mind. Number 6 for me would have to be. No way he can't go that low, man. Jeez. Number 6, OG Anunoby. I'm doing it. OG number 6.
Man, I'm curious who you guys got on your list, man. How you getting some of these guys in your top 10? I don't know, man.
We'll see. We'll see. Now the floor is yours, BG. Give us your 5 through 1, please.
The floor is mine. So before we continue, Jared Allen was number 10 for all of us. Just a little stat, just so you know.
He could have been higher for me, I will say.
Jared Allen actually has the most win shares out of anybody in this draft. Just so you know.
And Jared Allen he's also a player that was drafted by a team, and he's not with that team anymore. So Monte Morris is still with this team. Who did I say at number 9?
You said Brooks. I think you put Brooks in.
Brooks, he's still with his team. Kyle Kuzma, he's not with this team anymore. John Collins, he's still with this team. And who did I have at number 6? Number 6 was OG Anunoby. He's still with his team. Man, so 2 of those players are not with the teams that have drafted them. So that can't be that. They can't be that good of a draft pick if he's not with that team anymore. Is what I'm saying.
Just valuable money.
Exactly.
You're a little biased, OG.
I know I am. Honestly, probably OG should have been closer to the 10 mark. And when I do the final list, he'll probably be closer to the 10 mark, and Jared Allen may move a spot up or 2. But I don't know. I think that's pretty good.
You know that we can shift our list a little bit because I shook up.
Well, that's why you're talking it out, right? You're redrafting nothing's factual right now. So I'm BG, 5 through 1.
I'm just looking at my list, and I don't know how some of those guys beat. It's all right.
We'll see. Who you got? Frank Ntilikina?
No, number 5. Number 5, I got
TJ Leaf.
I got De'Aaron Fox at number 5.
Okay, yeah.
Number 4.
Who actually went number 5?
Number 4, I got Lonzo Ball. So, I mean, he's playing a little better. Didn't have a great career in New Orleans. I mean, he was drafted number 2.
Third team now.
He's with the Bulls, though. But he's playing defense on both ends.
No, he's good. I like him.
12 points, 5.7 rebounds, 6.2 assists. So, I mean, come on. He plays defense,
He's in my top 5 for sure.
My top 3 are the only 3 All-Stars out of this draft. So, number 3, I'll go with Bam Adebayo. This is where I wanted to go with my Dookie at number 1, my Duke Blue Devil, but I'm going to go number 2, Jason Tatum.
That means.
Number 1, Donovan Mitchell, Spider. Gotta go with Donovan. I think Jason Tatum's I think he'll end up being a better player overall, but he's having a down year right now. Donovan Mitchell's had some bigger playoff moments individually, especially in the bubble. He was going crazy a little bit too. So I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell number 1, Tatum number 2 there.
Tatum's not even the best player on his team right now.
Come on, stop.
Ever heard of Jaylen Brown? Anyway, Zay, your turn.
Oh, mine is tough, and I knew that mine would probably be similar to BG's, and it's probably because it is hard. I mean, those guys at the top 5 are like they made their statement in the NBA as of now. So number 5, I'm going with Kyle Kuzma. Number 4, I put Jason Tatum there, only because he's sprouting. So, in my drafting mind, his potential is like, do I want to win now or do I want to win 10 years from now? So that's why I put him at 4. At number 3, I got Bam Adebayo. He's a championship caliber player, and he showed it. At number 2, I got Lonzo Ball.
Oh, Lord.
I think in the right situation, he does not switch teams.
Yeah, that's true. He
does not switch teams in the right situation.
Valid.
It was a lot of speculation because he was the oldest. His father was a head case, and so teams were probably
Pops that didn't help. Pops didn't help.
So
he ain't the best ball brother. I'll tell you that.
He isn't. But we talking about this draft. If his brothers was in this draft, that could be a different situation. But with this draft, he's my number 2. And then Donovan Mitchell, number 1. I think that's a no-brainer. He was definitely he's definitely been the most established player out of this draft, and definitely hats off to him. Number one.
All right. Okay. Let the big dog do this. All right. I let the little pups get in there. Let the big dog do this. Okay. Number 5 for
more Hoosiers that got drafted. So I don't know.
well, there was. He was in consideration too. Thomas Bryant. He got drafted by Utah. He actually plays for the Washington Wizards right now. He was drafted in the 2nd round. He definitely should have been a 1st round pick. But I digress. Okay. So number always had that one-on-one because Shake and Bake could score. Look, anyone that knows basketball, that watches basketball, that's played basketball, any of our players that are listening right now, the toughest thing to do in any basketball game, any player to actually do is what, guys? You guessed it. It's score the basketball. That is the hardest thing to do in basketball. Absolutely the toughest thing to do. And mind you, he just had 51 last night. And he's had about 4 or 5 50-piece games in his career. Like, he's been a bucket for a while. Now, I joked about the Jaylen Brown thing. Jaylen Brown is up there with him, though. Jaylen Brown can ball. And I think Jaylen Brown was in the draft 1 year after him, if I'm not mistaken. So he's in the 2018 draft. But to me, number 2, you can't go wrong with any one of these guys at 1 and 2. Like, they're the clear-cut top 2 players within the draft, talking about Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum. Donovan Mitchell has done more. He's won more in what some people would consider a tougher conference, but he's also had another all-star with him. And Jaylen Brown, yes, has been an all-star, but that was just recently last year. I know that Gobert has been an all-star for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and they just had a better opportunity. They've had a coach that has sustained his success for longer. Speaking of another Dookie, Quinn Snyder. Hey, Dookie's everywhere, man. So definitely number 2 for me. Again, you can't go wrong with either. Donovan Mitchell, Spider, as you mentioned. Number 1 for me, Jason Tatum.
For me, what the deciding factor is, I think Tatum has higher highs, but he also has lower lows. And I think Donovan Mitchell's a little bit more even killed, a little bit more consistent. But Tatum definitely has higher highs than Mitchell. But the consistency there between the two, by a slight margin, Mitchell. It's
really crazy because honestly, sometimes when these players don't pan out, you cannot fault the GMs and the teams for picking them. And then when they blow up, you can kind of see, well, I could see how that team and that GM didn't really see the potential of this cat blowing up that much. Like, I remember Donovan Mitchell at Louisville. Like, he was a 6-man type. Like, he wasn't a 30 piece a game type of guy. Like, he was kind of like an athletic hustle, play low defense, could score when they kind of gave him the ball and gave him opportunities, but he wasn't the main man on that team. Like, I think he may have played with Montrezl Harrell for a year or two.
I think
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And you got to think about it too, man. With GMs, these dudes are trying to predict what 18-year-old kids are going to do.
Right.
So, and I don't know, was Mitchell coming out?
I think he was like a 2-year or 3-year guy.
Yeah.
He was still young.
You know, Jason Tatum was 19 when he was coming out. So, I mean, it's tough to predict that in a 19-year-old, 18-year-old. So,
yeah. Zay, for you, what was the deciding factor between 1 and 2? Which I think you had. Number 1 was Mitchell. Number 2 was
and
it was wins, right?
I think basketball is a game of momentum. And once you get into the right situation, now thinking like we switched up the teams, but I mean, we also got to remember like the chances of the ping pong balls falling into place. So they could have ended anywhere in all retrospect. So I look at what they've done and the momentum they have in going forward, and that's how I kind of determine mine.
If you take a look at their stats, though, Donovan Mitchell, 25.5 points, 4 rebounds, 5.2 assists. Jason Tatum, 25.8 points, 8.6 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm telling you, man, if Jason Tatum can add a couple more assists per game to his stat sheet there, he's on another level.
Yeah, you're right. Out of that draft, Mitchell is the leading scorer in that draft, averaging almost 24 a game. Tatum is 20 a game. De'Aaron Fox is 18, and then John Collins is 16. These are career stats.
That's career stats.
Career stats, right?
I was going on this season. Yeah,
you're going current. Yeah, I'm just thinking career stats for the people out there. 3-point percent is the best 3-point shooter. Tony Bradley, 42%. Hasn't even had enough attempts. Wow. But anyone you would know, Luke Kennard is probably the best 3-point shooter in that draft, which you would kind of expect. I was drafted by my Detroit Pistons, and we got rid of him a couple years later. Win shares, I know you mentioned that. Win shares, like you guys mentioned, Jared Allen's number 1. Number 2 being Bam Adebayo, and that's why he was number 3 for me over De'Aaron Fox, because to me that was a toss-up, but Bam has just contributed to more wins in his career. And then Jason Tatum's number 3. And John Collins is actually number 4. That surprised me. So yeah, a lot of really good players. That's why we wanted to highlight this draft. Again, this spring would be a 5-year anniversary of this actual draft. I'm pretty sure most of these players, they could have got the early max. I don't even know how you consider it now, because I know Donovan Mitchell signed the early max extension. I think before their 5th year, the team, if they love them enough, they can offer them that early max, which literally I don't think any NBA player has actually rejected. So I know Donovan Mitchell accepted it. Jason Tatum, he got new money as well. Bam, I think he got new money as well. John Collins, I am not sure. De'Aaron Fox, I think he got new money as well. So, you just look at that. That means, to me, if they got that early max offer, they got to be in your top 5. Like, clearly the franchise that is actually paying these guys millions, they actually are willing to give them millions, and they say, hey, you are worth these millions, and we want to give it to you early. That shows that was a really good pick. So I just wish some of these guys were in better situations, like a De'Aaron Fox.
Alluding to that, I think John Collins is one of those guys that I think he's been made to look a lot better based on the situation he's in, playing with Trey over there.
Yep. So it's pretty cool, man. Good stuff to see. We'll do something like this again soon.